These men are really coming back, and you're going to realize that you was not crazy this entire time. This was not a soul tie or some type of fantasy world that you were living in, but these men are going to have a lot to get off of their chest, and you're going to realize, like, okay, this is really real, and this is where your happily ever after is going to come in. Welcome back to Prophetic Diary. My name is Tiny. If you're not already a favorite subscriber of the channel, click on the subscribe button. Everything you need to know is in our description box. We have so many women sending in testimonies. I got a testimony from a sister today who said that the videos are really helping her. Her and her guy broke up in July, and she ran into him recently. She said it was a divine encounter, and he has not stopped apologizing since. So that was from our sister Diana C. If you're on here, girl, comment down below to let the people know. So like I said, everything you need to know how to get connected here at Prophetic Diaries down in the description box. If you get in the flow, you're definitely going to grow. A lot of people want to start their brands and their businesses because we just don't know where this world is going. I know where it's going. So you want to make sure that you have a brand and a business. And so I read out of the word, now we are supposed to have multiple streams of income, because the Bible says you just don't know what's going to happen. So make sure that you're connected. We have a Canva building courses, and you're responsible for making sure that your brand and your business really looks good and is bringing in traffic. If you have trash email marketing campaigns and terrible flyers and all of those things that you're going to simply learn in this course, and don't get mad at anyone but yourself if it's not successful, right? We also have our legacy to wealth. You have to leave behind a holy inheritance for your children. Even when you come together with your kingdom spouse, you want to bring something to the table. Several courses. Becoming a life coach. What type of life coach do you want to be? You want to change that testimony and that breakthrough that you got into helping other people get that same breakthrough and make a profit off of it? Then become a life coach. Let's do it. Go to kingwomansist.com, see what services work for you, register. I'm creating some amazing packages, so after you register, I'll reach out to you and we'll decide what package works for you. Very simple, life-changing. You will not be stuck in this same spot this time next year. Step out. So God sent me here with a daily bread video, and I really hope that you can bite off of it, eat off of it, and nourish you. So God sent me here to let you know that for some of you, the last few weeks and the months and the years, it felt like you guys were in a spiritual maze, an emotional maze, especially your spouse. It's like he's been in his head, confused, just running into walls. But that was God, just kind of taking him here, taking him there, taking him there, like rerouting things so that some things can be dismantled. Relationships and counterfeit situations and family members and things like that. There's things that doesn't fit into where God was trying to take them into the calling. And the crazy part is they don't even know that you've been getting insight. They don't even know that God's been sending you confirmation and dreams and visions. And God will do that to keep you going. God will send you confirmation and dreams to let you know that, like, this isn't a fantasy. You didn't make this up. You're not delusional, right? I mean, I don't think any of us asked for this. It's not like we went out looking for this person. It kind of just happened. So I'll be releasing an ebook too on how you know if it's your kingdom spouse or if it's a soul tie. But the people I'm talking to today, it's not a soul tie. They don't know that you've been feeling it and you've been picking up everything in the spiritual realm about everything that's going on in the atmosphere in their life. But you have. So God is calling us into our happily ever after season. So a lot of these men are going to show up with a lot on their chest. And it won't be small talk. All of that is over. It's not going to be some, hey, stranger, checking your temperature, checking to see if you're still around. It's not going to be like that. They're going to say things more like, I wasn't ignoring you. I was just a little overwhelmed. I didn't know how to fix it. I was feeling unworthy. That counterfeit situation, it really wasn't what I thought it was. God's been dealing with me. And, I couldn't come back until I was finished, until I was ready. And their clarity is going to let you know, like, I was not crazy. And they're going to confirm everything that your spirit already knew. And it's going to validate you. It's going to make you feel like good, like, okay, like me and God really was. This wasn't like fake attacks, or it wasn't like just witchcraft out of nowhere, but like, okay, this thing is real. It was, everything I was feeling in the spiritual is a real thing. So your happily ever after is going to be a grown woman, a grown man happily ever after. It's going to be a little deeper than a Disney movie, right? Because he's finally going to speak from that place without fear. He's not going to be choking. He's not going to be, with an attitude. He's not going to be frustrated. He's not going to be annoyed. He's not going to be aggravated, but he'll have some accountability. And he'll be clear and bring clarity. And emotionally, he'll be able to figure out, okay, this is why I was tripping. That's why I was seeing things like this and like that. And that partnership is going to come into play too. And it's not the push-pull stuff. Like you talk, he back up, you back up. It's not going to be the push and the pull anymore with a partnership where two people are on the same page, alignment, assignment, understanding what God said to the both of them and coming together like the same God. Not chaos and drama anymore. And things are going to come into alignment. This is your happily ever after. It's going to be alignment because God writes the story. God isn't going to put a bunch of potholes in your story. You're not crazy. You're not losing your mind like, am I making this up? Am I going to be disappointed again? Is this no, you're not crazy. Like God is really bringing your happily ever after. You have to believe that for yourself. So it's going to shock you how much they matured and healed and grown in such a short time. But that's what happened when God says, like I talked about yesterday, that enough is enough. This is what happens. So you can breathe because you're not losing your mind. You're not imagining things. Satan, like I talked about in Coffee and Revelations today, Satan is mad because he's losing a grip. He's mad because he's losing territory. He's mad because he's losing period. And they don't like that the spouses are waking up. He doesn't like that he's losing their grip and their lives are going to be saved and they're going to, tear down the kingdom of darkness. He wants them to stay asleep. He wants them to stay stuck. So they're going to come back with a lot on their chest and just confessing to you that they want to be with you and their vows and how they knew all along. And for those out there who's wondering well, Tiny, there's so much warfare around it. I really don't know if this is from me or if this is from Satan or is this a fantasy? Well, I'm going to tell you how you know if you're in a fantasy. If you're in a fantasy and you're just making up all this in your head, then you're emotionally drained. For the women that are crying and obsessing and tired and panicking, yes, you're definitely in a fantasy. That's not a covenant marriage. But if it's from God, then you're maturing, you're healing, you're gaining discernment, you're building your purpose, you're walking in obedience, you're praying harder, and you're healing, and so is he. That's how you know. If these things are not happening around the marriage and around the situation, then it's not from God. You're delusional and you're in a fantasy. And like I tell people all the time, you need coaching. You need to heal. You need to grow. You have orphan issues. You have rejection issues and all these things that he who finds a wife, you're not a wife yet, right? So, to people I'm talking today, you are breaking generational patterns in this covenant marriage will, and he's maturing and healing, and he's going to come back because the work is being done behind the scenes. So God is pushing you into the calling and pushing him into the calling instead of pushing you out. And this is not delusion, baby. This is destiny. Someone put down in the description box, this is not delusion. This is destiny. And your promises chase you down with confirmation after confirmation when you're not even looking for it. People that look for confirmations, that means they're not confident. But people that just get confirmations, it's because God is trying to confirm them that, baby, I got you. This is from me, and this is what I want to give you. You're learning how to forgive deeper. You're strengthening your identity. You're not losing your mind. This is not obsession or fear. This is not trauma and bonding. It's just, what it is. So they're going to have a lot to say. They're going to have a lot to say. I mean, this is months, a year or so, or however long for some of y'all that's been built up on this man's chest, and he is going to have a lot to say to you. And it's going to be beautiful because it's going to make you feel so good. Like, oh my God, like, okay, God, I'm happy I stayed in obedience. I do believe in a happy ever after. I do have faith. The woman with the issue of blood, your faith has healed you, and your faith is going to heal you because you ain't never had to trust God like this, being quiet, sitting at his right hand until he makes your enemies your footstools, and all of those things that you've been through and all that you learned. But I'm proud of you. You made it through. and you got things to do, and you and your spouse together have things to do. So these are beautiful kingdom marriages. They can get a little ghetto at times. They can get real ghetto at times, a little aggravating, a little frustrating, you know, a lot of stress, sometimes tension in your shoulders. You're just like, God, you know, but if God wanted to release you, he would release you. So not our will, but God's will be done. And we really mean that. And you got to push through and stay, and that's what faith looks like. So I'm proud of you guys. If you feel led to someone support this channel, do that. Sign up for a one-on-one coaching call with myself, QAnassist.com. Grab you a hoodie or a service. If you stay in the flow, you definitely gonna glow. Talk soon.